Cam Ward came out in a press conference during Titans training camp and said, we're very mid right now, talking about the Titans offense since they put on the pads. Take a listen, Coach.
We're very mid right now, from our position to up front to the receiver's position. But at the end of the day, it all starts with me. I just don't think we're at where we need to be. But we got a little bit of time, and so every day we get better as a whole. We're a young team, but that's no excuse. At the end of the day, we got to come with the right mindset every day and come to work.
Now, Coach Fred, I don't know how you feel about Cam Ward, but I'm extremely optimistic for his rookie season with Tennessee. I really think that he goes into a place where that has a solid run game, a solid offensive line, and a good offensive line coach in Bill Callahan, who is arguably the best offensive line coach in the NFL. That offensive line will take a lot of pressure off Cam Ward. A defensive line that I think is extremely underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but I think they will starting to with T'Vondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons start, really making an impact this season on top of what they already have done. But what are your reactions to hearing Cam Ward say that about the Titans offense so far in that training camp? I think these are just typical bumps in the road, especially having a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, and I think this is typical training camp, first week, second week verbiage.
Yep.
Because, at this point, again, he's still learning. They're still installing. I would be alarmed if he had came out and said that they had hit their stride and they were rolling and, clicking on all cylinders. But, the only thing that I worry about is, I don't know, Bailey, and you can tell me, I just don't know if he has that one big-time receiver that he can go to when the other teams decide that they're going to make him beat them by, stacking the line of scrimmage. I don't know if they have a guy that can consistently get it done outside, so to speak. And that's the only thing that I kind of worry about with his situation, because when they start to try to take away that run, take away his legs in there against, within the offense, what is he going to be able to rely on? Who can he get the ball to? Who can he push the ball down the field, back those guys up to? So that's one of those things that'll be interesting to see.
Great point. I'm really optimistic. I think he's got a lot of good weapons, especially one I'm going to highlight. Calvin Ridley, I think, is going to be his go-to, probably his number one target. Also, somebody underrated, but I think has been a consistent player over the last few years for Tennessee, Chig Okonkwo at the tight end position. I really think could take a step forward this year with Cam Ward at quarterback. Could be a safety blanket for Cam Ward. Here are some highlights of Cam Ward here and non-padded Titans training camp here. But speaking of that, he's also got Tyler Lockett coming over from Seattle, who's a veteran, very, very consistent. And I just think Seattle stopped playing him. Ryan Grubb, who was the offensive coordinator in Seattle last season, really just took Tyler Lockett out of the lineup. I think Tyler Lockett's going to really have a bounce-back season. I really think Tyler Lockett's eager to have a bounce-back season, so watch out for him. Also, they drafted the kid Alec Io Minor, who played with my guy Levi Rogers over at Stanford, the rookie. So expect to see him as well. So Cam's got a couple weapons that I'm really optimistic to see. And I just think that it's how fast can Cam Ward develop in the Brian Callahan offensive system? How fast can Cam Ward be ready to go? But honestly, Coach, if we look at their schedule, I'm pretty optimistic. It's going to be interesting. Two tests right out the gate, Denver and L.A., and then they go to the Colts. They have an interesting quarterback battle, Coach Fred. I think, I don't know, it's going to be even more tough the more Anthony Richardson highlights I see on Twitter. But, Coach, what are your thoughts on the Titans' weapons? And then we'll break down the schedule here. Go ahead.
Again, I like, Ridley. I guess when I say that, and I guess you kind of answer with the tight end, I don't want to butcher his name, but we'll call him tight end O.
Chig Okonkwo. He's a good player. Yeah, I got you.
The one big safety blanket, who can he get that ball to on 3rd and 12? Kevin Ridley, he's a guy, no doubt about it, but he's not an overly big guy. But who can he force that ball into, so to speak, in traffic for the big first down, the big catch to keep the drive going? And, if the tight end's the guy, the tight end's the guy. But it'd be interesting to see, how that goes. And when they take him out of the game with his running, who can he really rely on for a 10-play drive to keep things going when they have to have it? So that'd be interesting to see.
Absolutely. And let's break down the schedule here. They open up so they got Denver and Bo Nix, who They're really, I mean, they're a really good team. I just think he's going to have a sophomore slump or not. I think defenses are going to adjust to him and kind of figure him out, and I think he's going to have to adjust accordingly. LA, I think, is a potential Super Bowl contender. I mean, shit, they're going to be legit, especially having Devontae Adams. I think it's probably the house hoorah for Stafford as well. I don't know. How do you feel? I mean, if you're looking at here real quick, I'm going to go I'm going to say win, loss, 1-1, 2-1 against the Colts. I'm not putting stock on the Colts. 2-2 against Houston. I think Houston, as well as a Super Bowl contender. I'm going to give them the win against Arizona. I'm going to give them a loss against Pete Carroll and the Raiders. I think they're going to be a thorn for teams this season. I'll give them the win. 4-3 against the Patriots. 5-3 against the Colts. I just think the Colts are going to be. You got two. I think the Colts are going to struggle this season. 5-4. I think they lose to the Chargers. 5-5 against Houston. Now, Coach, how do you feel about the Seahawks versus the Titans? I'll probably be at this game in Nashville here this season.
Man, the Seahawks are a mystery to me, so to speak. They bring in a red hot quarterback. Can he keep it going, and does he have enough to keep it going?
Right.
Defensively, I think they're going to always be tough. So I think the Seahawks, as you put it in the words, I think the Seahawks are a wild card and could be a thorn in some folks' side as well. The Seahawks kind of a toss-up to me. I think Tennessee, if they can break 1-2 games above 500, I think they're solid as can be as well. But they play on the tough side. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get to that first part of the season to set themselves up for that second part of the season run. And I think that's going to be the key if Cam can get them into a wild card situation late.
Yeah, and I mean, people might call me biased or whatever, but I'm really optimistic. I also have discussed that the Titans. I don't know how you feel about the Titans last year, Coach, but I watched a team that I thought was pretty solid on both sides of the ball, besides the quarterback position. No offense to Will Levis, but I watched the opening week against the Bears. The Titans are up 17-0, and I mean, dog, Will Levis is throwing pick sixes and shit. I'm like, dog, what the fuck? They lost the game. I really think Cam Ward, he can play game manager, so to speak, and not be detriment. His play not be detrimental to the Titans. It could really be in their favor this season. Jacksonville, a division opponent here, they got to play them twice in I think a span of a month at the end of the year. Oof. How do you feel about the Jags, Coach?
It's gonna be Trevor Lawrence, man. Can he get it done?
Yeah, and
he's got some weapons.
Travis Hunter too. Shoot, they took Cam Ward over Travis Hunter. That's an interesting thing to look at. That's gonna be a lot of eyes are gonna be on that game, no matter the records of the teams, in my opinion. Cleveland, I think that's a win. So going back to Seattle, I'm gonna give them the win there. 6-5. Jacksonville 7-5. Call me Coach Fred when we were doing the Florida State schedule last week. You think they're going 8-0? Woo! If they go 8-0, Coach, I'll give you a lot of credit. A 7-5. Cleveland, I think they'll get the win, and then I don't know. So I think it's possible for them to contend for a wild card. I just think that Cam Moore coming into the team, a team that I think is more solid, especially on both sides of the ball, more than people give credit to, and having an offensive line like that takes a lot of pressure off a quarterback. So true. I don't know. Pretty optimistic, Coach.